Hi there, my name is Gianni and welcome to Infidelity Alchemy. I help women transform the pain of infidelity into joy so they can dissolve the triggers, create loving relationships, and love themselves again. If that is you, welcome. You are in the right place if you're ready to heal and let go of the past. So today is a rude awakening. One of the most difficult things that propelled my healing. Like if you do this one thing and nothing else, you will heal. But it's also the most difficult thing for me. And that was taking personal responsibility for my marriage. Now, I'm not just talking about a little bit of responsibility. I'm talking about radical responsibility, unrational responsibility. And what does this mean? It means that because this is my life, I'm responsible for it. And so I get to decide how it goes. Why is this difficult? We've been betrayed. He cheated on us, right? So when your life crumbles, you think, oh my goodness, he did this to me. And so you think of all the ways that he's to blame or that his infidelity is to blame for why your marriage is such a mess, which means your future is such a mess, which means you can't live the life of your dreams. You won't have the family that you envision. Believe me, I know. My husband had a baby before we got a chance to have a baby from his affair. So yeah, I blamed it all on him. I decided, oh my goodness, he's an a-hole and now my life is ruined. And so I was stuck for a long time because when you're in this victim mentality, all that you're doing is blaming the other person. So obviously that's not creating a healthy relationship if you're trying to restore it, if you're trying to reconcile, but you keep lashing out and you keep blaming them and shaming them for their actions. I was guilty of that. I was always shaming him for what he did. Or when something didn't go our way, I'd be like, well, you ruined everything. What did you expect? And so I was stuck for about 4 years until I hired a coach. And one of the things she taught me is take radical responsibility for your life. You cannot control what he does, but you can always control who you are, how you show up, your actions, your thoughts, your reactions, how you respond in the relationship and in your life in order to create new habits. Because the truth of the matter is that toxic relationships, and let's face it, if you've experienced infidelity, it's toxic. It's not a healthy thing. Toxic relationships are always co-toxic. It's so hard to hear, I know, but you are responsible for 50% of that relationship, of that marriage, of that interaction. You are bringing 50% of you to that relationship, right? The relationship is you're 100%, he's 100%, but the relationship is its own 100% that you each contribute 50% to. And so if the relationship crumbles, you contributed to half of that. Even though he did this one big thing that you think crumbled it all, it doesn't work that way. That one big thing was probably just 50% or less of the demise of the relationship. And so you have to take ownership of your 50%. And that means that you acknowledge that you've had toxic habits. Like what? Like yelling, like screaming, like blaming him for what he's done, shaming him. Or the other way, you're too nice. You don't set boundaries. You don't say no. You don't care of yourself. You don't care for yourself, right? Those are all toxic habits that let the other person know that you're not worth anything, that they shouldn't respect you, that you don't count in the relationship. And so we have to realize that we're being toxic in a different way. Maybe we didn't betray them outright in an affair, right? But there's little subtle ways we betray them, like when we judge them. Like when we talk to our family and friends about him negatively. Like when we blame him for something that, we decided we were going to move on from, but we're still holding resentment for it. When we lash out and we shame them and we judge them, all those are toxic habits that don't, you're planting weeds in your garden instead of flowers. Is that silly to say? And so, you just have to take ownership for who you are so that you can cleanse that. You can become a better person. And it's a difficult thing to hear because we're so used to feeling sorry for ourselves. We're so used to blaming him and then we don't have to do anything because it's his fault. Well, guess what? If it's all his fault, if he doesn't do anything, then you're hopeless. There's no change, right? But if you own 50% of that, well, guess what? You get to put these changes in place and the whole thing transforms. Even if it's just 50% that transforms, that's a big deal. That's a big difference. That's a big impact to anything. And so I challenge you to take ownership of the behavior that isn't serving you so you can create something new. Thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with a friend who might need to hear this message today. I love you so much. Until next time, bye.